Good evening, everybody. We're watching a little bit of racing at the moment on chessjerk's side, but I'm sure that will fade into the Zelda 1 randomizer as he has an Elite 8 matchup against Crystal Saver games 1 and 2 tonight. I'm Furious K alongside Dracia. Dracia, this is going to be an interesting one because these two, I believe, have already matched up.
Yes, they were in the very first round of the bracket. Saber ended up beating chessjerk, knocked him down to the bottom bracket, and then after Thurwolf knocked Saber out of the top bracket, he is down here, and here is the long-awaited rematch. I say long-awaited because I told chessjerk after he beat me, I'm like, you get that rematch with Saber. And here it is. I'm very excited for it. You having a good night so far?
Yep. So this first one we've rolled up, I say we, I mean Dave rolled up, looks to just a little bit troll. It's got a 1 heart start for sure, and we don't think there's any ring because Crystal Saver's sprite has not changed color from what it would be in any case where you didn't have ring.
Absolutely. So, anybody here does not know what a Dave seed means? If any of y'all play RuneScape, start the Legends quest right now, and you might finish it before this seed is over. Essentially, Dave has a history of rolling very, very trolly seeds.
Supposedly, the bot has no influence from whoever goes ahead and commands it, but for whatever reason, this guy seems to have the worst of reputations, and while I've had pretty decent seeds rolled by him this tournament, doesn't look like this one's quite as fun as the one I got last time around. So we'll see if they can get some hearts quickly, or we'll see where the rings are. Maybe they can get out of 1 heart and green tunic pretty quickly.
And we are beginning. We're starting at the forgotten spot. Well, nobody's going to forget that. And we've got a boomerang that the Zol is shooting, which means that we may have fun percent going on right now.
No items showing in their inventory yet, so there's a chance it could be something like a power bracelet, a raft, a ladder, a book, just about anything that would show on the top bar you would see on their A or B slot.
There is also a chance that they could have started with either the bow or some kind of arrow, because that won't show up in the B button until... Well, they do start with arrows, it would appear.
Yeah, there's a
Not
shield at the Armos spot. That's a lot of Triforce pieces. So the shield looks to be, was that book on the end there? It's power bracelet or book, I think, on that side. So it's one or the other.
I think that's power bracelet, which makes sense because it's 50-50 for the power bracelet to be in its vanilla spot anyway.
Yeah, I got the any key and the red ring on one side. I've got the power bracelet book on the other side. I can never really tell what column it's in, though, so I just guess at it. But PB sounds appropriate since that's got a 50-50 chance to roll vanilla anyways.
And he just pushed the block, so that's definitely the power bracelet.
And it doesn't really matter what color ring you have with 1 heart, though. If you get hit by a Lionel sword, it's never a good time. And yeah,
nope.
Saver gets to turn around because of it.
I'm just very, very grateful that... Oh, well, if you need a potion, the Lionels are shooting them at you. I'm just glad that the low health beep has been turned off, because that's all we would hear tonight.
Yeah, because it's mirrored overworld, which we haven't talked about yet. You can actually get away from this screen that Saver's on by wrapping. I believe it wraps you right into the fairy fountain, and you can get in there. So
yes,
you can't get through that Tektite screen again. That might be a way around that.
Now, I have not seen a sprite shuffle aside from a fun percent. Are all of the sprites like thrown into the mix and moved around, or are they swapped essentially?
They are mixed in any way, shape, and form. There can be multiples. It just doesn't have any rhyme or reason behind it. You can even get the fireballs that are shot from the lake Zolas.
That'll be an interesting thing to see, because the Zols are Zolas, sorry, not Zols. Those are the dungeon ones. The Zolas are throwing boomerangs. I think it ate a gorilla is what happened.
Yeah, I said book and key. I meant book and ring on the left and key and race on the right. So I would have been right on my guessing earlier on the top.
And with the, speaking of the any key, with moblins throwing them around, that would make them our arrow item, which means that our runner started with the bow.
The bow and the arrow slot often confuses runners, so we'll see if both of our runners detect that they actually don't have wood arrows. They actually have the bow in their inventory to start.
Yeah, I mean, I can never off the top of my which one's on the left and on the right. Anyway, chessjerk is making his way to vanilla start, which the wood sword, if it is not a swordless.
Right, and Saver has found his candle in the form of a book, as our start screen has both a sword and a blue candle, so no swordless today.
Well, chessjerk picked up a free green potion. I don't know what that one does.
That's not enough to kill a blue Lionel, who fires one that does double the damage. We do have some any roads that give you a relatively good travel. They give you a Death Mountain access, a forest access. Looks like the dead end spot, the Dead Woods, is another one. I didn't see which one he jumped in to start. He's going to go back though, and it's Dead Woods still.
There you go. Yeah, the second quest hundo. That's one he found. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
And the double matchstick is the heart container, so that'll be a good indication if we see some of those on the floor in dungeons. And a second quest cave at level 3, so that gives us a very good indication of our money situation.
Yep, that is the full second quest overworld. Our large secret was, I believe, 91 rupees?
Yep, so Saver bought a candle that he could have gotten out of a Take Any One eventually for free, but at the end of the day, 50 rupees for a candle that you have there to open up spots, it's not worth going around to see if you can actually get to a Take Any One.
Yeah. When you find a candle and you haven't found a Take Any yet, you buy it.
And Saber will pick up some bombs. Let's see if he goes for the double. Yes, so I think we may see a very early dive of Death Mountain to see if there's any dungeons up there, because he can simply he saved the bomb, so he can essentially retry back if he hits caves he doesn't like. As we see level 1.
I do love, by the way, that the shuffled to, which I guess is an upgrade from not having them.
We have second quest, level 1.
And we found the any quarter immediately on the floor there.
Yep, so the double ring that we saw on the floor is the compass. And as you noted, we just found the any key or any flute.
And chessjerk is in level second quest overworld. Wonder if we're gonna have second quest to every. Dave rolled it, so probably. No, actually, Dave rolled it, so we're gonna have a shapes back half that's just going to troll the absolute heck out of our runner.
Yep, and this Dark Room has a bomb plus on it, and Saver got a pack of bombs out of that, so I dare say that that's just a regular bomb pack for now, but hard to say for sure.
I would say more than likely it is, but more will be revealed. Oof. This one heart madness.
Yep, so what I call the pointless moat room had the Yini key in it, and in level 1 second quest, it's the Aqua Menace room, and it's like a narrow 4-block room where there's single blocks, but they have little spacing in between them in the middle.
Okay, yes.
So, because it was not one of those 2 rooms, and it was a pointless moat room, we know that the vanilla rune drops will not be the case this time around, despite the fact that we saw the Triforce in its vanilla rune.
Got a nice mediate shy of the maximum. So that definitely makes up for the bad large secret. The one good thing about one heart is that you're gonna have permanent sword beams. But I believe chessjerk is a fairly close to. Oh, he already did find his Zenny key. Never mind.
It looks like it was a very expensive shield in the shop from what I just saw, so I don't think we have a boomstick situation tonight.
Unfortunately for the run. Fortunately for us, really, boomstick. Especially when you've got people like chessjerk and Saver doing them.
I'm also kind of concerned by the fact that we have a bombs plus as our bombs image, because I think that only is supposed to show up as one of the sprite options if your sword upgrades have been eaten by bomb upgrades. So if that's true, then we actually won't see a white sword or magical sword.
Saver picking up his wooden potion.
CJ's really trying to get through this staircase, so it makes me think he's blocked out of the second item by that staircase.
I was gonna say he's probably gonna check and see whether there.
I'd be really tempted to save the room with the bunny here, just because the chances of having to re-clear the whole thing if he goes the wrong direction, but gets him anyways.
And going through these transports on half a heart is terrifying. Keys have that tendency to be unpredictable even if they are easy enemies.
Looks like Stalfo has the bomb upgrade inside, so another pack of bombs. If it's no upgrade swords, then I think one of these bomb packs could actually be your second item. That would be really trolly for the runners.
Oh, extreme.
Speaking of trolls.
Yes. And we do not have 0 HP bosses, so that...
And that is a double
heart?
match check, so it's a heart. Now, CJ does not know what that is yet, but when he goes to a Awakening 1 cave, he's going to know exactly what it is. It's definitely going to be a heart at that point to him, so probably concerned right now that he may be looking at a ladder on the other side, but it's not that.
Well, there's no way that could
Well, a raft, a ladder, that sort of thing, so it's the double image.
Yeah, which I guess the only things that so far that are too wide sprites are Raft, Ladder, and Heart.
Yep, because his tunic is green, he should know that it can't be a raft or ladder. It's gotta stay to his tunic color at the absolute minimum, so it should show as green and not red or kind of beigeish red as that showed.
Makes sense. And the wonderful part about Second Quest Overworld, some of those exploration items that are usually just like, whatever, such as the, well, white sword that Saver saw. It was a blue potion, so it would match up with the white sword colors.
It could be a white sword, could still actually be the wand. You could have both of those end up being the same sprite. So it's a blue item of some sort.
That makes sense.
We know it's not very likely to be the boomerang at this point, because I don't think Agree has fired off a potion at him yet, or any of the runners. It's been the Lionels only that have been shooting the potions.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a Guria yet. Granted, we've only... But we do have a... we do have a good money spread for a Second Quest Overworld, even though the... in 91, we had the 38 rupee mid and small, and Saver is in 9.
Yep. I don't know if you know Strasia, but it was a central entry point, so that's going to mean all the same quest, I do believe.
Well, that will be fun.
And the unfortunate part for chessjerk is he's actually not gotten around to vanilla First Quest 3, so does not know that that cave is actually just a cave and not one of the level entry openings. So bombing some of these spots that we know aren't going to open, but he has yet to fully determine.
Yes.
Saver is trying to get into this Armos location, but kept having the Lionels say no, so had to get off the screen and get back onto the screen to reload it out into a different setup. Now just has to avoid rocks falling.
And I also think that drop groups might be, unless that was a consecutive, a blue moblin did drop a fairy on chessjerk's side.
Yeah, the coast item was double wand, so it's pretty likely at this point that we have a heart container out there.
Absolutely, and Saver has found that entry point. That is definitely second. This is going to be fun. More than it already is.
Hey,
And
look,
the letter.
a wand. Not.
And chessjerk also finds the knot.
Yeah, shouldn't be too hard to figure out what they picked up for either one of them, given they have 2 and 1 heart, and the only other item they could pick up that's one slotted like that is paper. You can't pick up a 4 to 6 heart white sword item, you can't pick up the magical sword item, so on we go.
On we go indeed. And Saver, unfortunately, clipped before, so he couldn't get into Second Quest 7 there, but there he goes this time. Me. Wonder why Saber didn't buy the arrows. He was right there at the he had enough money at the shop.
I feel like it's a situation where Saber just hasn't quite put the whole puzzle together as far as what he started with.
That definitely makes sense. That was a sword item. That double wand that was right there. So that must have been a heart, I believe.
So the blue potion really can't be mags, it can be... I wonder if it's a makeshift bomb plus situation with magical sword, suddenly.
It's starting to make a lot more sense now, yeah.
So, level 6 in second quest has a handful of staircases. And a lot of potential ladder blocks, given it has its own special room in second quest.
Yep.
And also traditionally carries at least one Chevy.
And we also know, by the way, that with the coast item being a heart and the white sword item being a heart, guess what we have? Best flag in the game, heart shuffle.
Best flag in the game.
You said that.
Yeah, heart shuffle. I'm tempted to turn that off every time I race in this flag set.
From a racing perspective, I guess that makes sense. But it's a very fun exploration flag to have.
So this key room here that Saber's in is traditionally the room that I believe has a map instead of that key, and then has the item in that staircase.
And traditionally it stays correct. It is a red book, so probably the red candle. Yep. So we've got the red candle as our item.
Yep, it's not the worst thing to find, but I think Saber is operating still on the fact that he thinks that Heart Shuffle's off given how quickly he left, or just doesn't want to be bothered to clear a bunch of rooms in level 6, which is just as fair.
Absolutely. And I'm not entirely sure what chessjerk is doing over here with all these moblins. He's got full bombs. But he's popping in and bomb them. Unless they shuffle.
He's got the clock drop, so that should indicate where he's at on his count. I wonder if he's farming... Well, the chat thinks he's farming for the candle, which is fair. I'm also wondering if he was just making sure that he had the regular bomb pickup at some point instead of a bombs plus, just because you don't always get that refill, but yep.
Ah, there we go. There's a... And Saber is continuing to comb through what is now East Death Mountain rather than West.
Yeah, so the bomb dropping group, if I remember correctly, I'm sure I'll get yelled at if I'm wrong, but I believe it has 2 different counts at least where it single rupees you, and then there's a 5 roll on a 10 usually.
Does Saber finds 5 in 2Q9's location? immediately. That could be blocking a staircase. And correct me if I'm wrong, 2 sets of staircases? Or am I wrong?
It's definitely multiple. I'm pretty sure it's at least 2.
Plus the item. Beams are some terrifying enemies. And regular keys themselves are never shuffled in with sprites, correct? So if you see it as a key,
Keys, regular heart pieces, and rupees will never change. Well, currently will never change.
okay.
Gotta stick the currently in there because you never know what the next update will hold.
List of items that are not in, which are rupees, keys, small hearts.
Oh boy. This room that Saber's in now, he's immediately pausing to try and determine how in the world he's going to get around this, because I'm pretty sure this is the last staircase already that he's discovered. Nope, don't mind me, I just didn't count. I thought he went through 2, but apparently he's only gone through the first one. And eliminates a dig dogger block. And that was the one he went through initially.
And blocked out of, well, he's already got that try.
Yeah, if he wasn't ladder blocked out, he was Triforce blocked out of getting around and seeing if that bomb wall actually existed. So that's enough of that, I think.
Absolutely. Because in order to explore them, he would have to fight a 4-headed Leok inside of a.
It's not the worst situation if you have beams, but without beams, it's not worth the effort.
Because you can like quasi door strat from the door below.
Yep, store beams gives you a lot more room to just dodge in general too. So even if you didn't have the door, you'd be able to focus on firing beams from far away and hopefully not take any damage through the first couple of cycles. And if you got down to the last head and finally took damage, then it wouldn't be such a big deal anymore. You could still probably work your way through the middle.
I love that. The potion shuffled to paper sprites. And Saver unfortunately gets that soft lock. Happens quite often in Mirrored, that spot in particular.
It's hard to really visualize in your head when you're making that transition exactly where you have to be, so it's not surprising.
Yeah. Especially considering thinking about screen wraps, like a lot of us usually do it from the screen when we can. And
starting spot,
a map.
Yep, the starting spot is not too far away from the east or west Death Mountain, so
yeah.
In the end, it really doesn't cost Saber that much time to walk.
And the Forgotten Spot is honestly a fairly central starting point, too. Right near the middle of the map.
And when you consider in full shuffle that you can just get thrown into what was formerly known as West Death Mountain, which I guess is now turned around just a little bit and it's now east. You can get stuck up there with Lionel's guarding the ladders that you have to go up and down to get off of screen, so definitely ways it could be worse.
Yeah, full start shuffle could put you like on 2Q9, can it?
Yep. It can put you just about on any screen. There's only a handful. The one that's most obvious and comes to mind immediately is the spot where the potion or the letter would normally be in first quest, where it's just that one ladder screen up to the doorway. The game can't really stick you into that spot, especially like if that's a dungeon and you're trying to fluke to it, it also can't work. But there's another
the
little
rack
map.
spots as well, because those are logically impossible.
Yep. And look at this. Saber wraps from the arrow spot, which is the magical sword in second quest, and gets to where the white sword would be first quest, and it has level 3.
And we've got... I still have no idea what our... I think our red bubble curse is swordless.
I would think so, as chessjerk is now going to find his red candle. He's going to confirm it real quick. Continue. It looks like chessjerk is equally disinterested in floor drops. Double potion that looks brown, but it's the lesser of the two.
Yes, we do have a raft. So far, everything wooden. Clearly gotta be the ladder as well.
I don't think we've seen second item for Saver in this 3. I know at this point that we're looking at Art Shuffle, so the Bombs Plus is also just bombs, so I'm not sure, did it not update his bomb count when he picked it up?
I completely missed that.
Now, if the bombs didn't increase, it's bombs plus, so it has 10 capacity and is digging for nothing. There's a bow on the floor, which is this is a quarter, so there's the second item.
So if it's our musical item, would that make it a violin bow?
To answer the question in chat instead, the Bomb Plus, from what I gather, is in just because Bomb Plus is part of the shuffle now. Which means that sword upgrades would be off, but there was at least one person who believed that the Bomb Plus can be in rotation regardless of whether it's on or not. So, the verdict's out, but my inclination is we won't see a sword upgrade the rest of the way.
That was not a bomb upgrade, it looks like, because Saber had 4 bombs, bought a pack, and is at 8 now. Or, sorry, had 5 bombs, bought a pack, and is now at 8.
Yeah, well, it was Raft and Recorder after the fact at level 3. So we definitely knew it wasn't. We're still trying to discover whether or not it's bomb upgrade or sword upgrade. We're not going to find out for a little while, at least, though, because Magical Sword is the potion, blue potion in that shop. Again, with that coloration being blue, Dracia, I think it's still very likely that we're dealing with bomb upgrades.
Absolutely.
Now,
So we did find a dungeon, but immediately popped out of it.
I would think it would be, what, like a reddish potion if it was...
Yeah, I mean, the colors have to go along with what the item is. And if the magical sword item was blue, then it's got to be the bomb upgrade.
Yeah, blue would definitely stick to bomb upgrades, but I guess we won't really find out 100% definitive until we get a bomb upgrade at some point off of a floor drop in the dungeon or a staircase. So for now, we're just going to see where chessjerk can get in this dungeon that Saver did not, because there's always that chance that there could be something lurking behind that Gliok.
That's true. Saver has made his way up to 4 hearts now, which, given the start, is actually pretty good. Oh man, what an awful room. Wizros, bunnies, likes, and Gibdos.
Yeah. Well, once he gets rid of the Wizrobe, he'll have more conventional movement from everything but the bunny, at least.
Yeah.
Bull's voice. And gonna reset the room, actually. I guess that's appropriate because that would allow you to come back to this room if you died and not have to deal with all the same amount of enemies that come with it to begin with.
Yeah. And at this point, it's possible that the Bull's voice is not the top priority enemy. But it is. Unfortunately. If only he had bow and arrow.
Yeah, and there's also a chance that this could still potentially be a walkthrough wall on the right side of this room, or some sort of traversable area, because we're not guaranteed that that shutter door up top is the only way, but this is a staircase room. What do we have inside?
We've got a matchstick.
How about another bow?
Welp.
That's rather unfortunate, but that actually tells CJ now definitively that he has the bow and not wood arrows. So let's see if he gets enough money to buy wood arrows later. Also, for those keeping track of Freds out there, that is pretty much where you'd expect to find that.
More than likely.
Second Quest 5, bow. What is this game?
What is the game indeed? I also noticed there's a very fun coincidence that the potion sprite has been swapped to paper, and the potion shop lady makes a joke about what she uses the paper for. It's almost like the bait is people thing.
Have we seen the hint shops and their prices yet? I don't think I've been paying enough attention to know.
We do have shuffled hint prices. I know that much. One of them, it was like 50-something, 40-something, and in the teens. So definitely not the cheapest of the hints.
And we've seen some community comments that are different depending on your cave, so it's not booked to understand any of the cave people in this case, or the old men in the dungeons. So with that in mind, I don't even think
I've seen a dungeon hint, so I don't know if it's...
Well, we're in second quest, so that's why you're not going to see a whole lot of those, but... I think that actually brings into play an interesting thing here, where you could basically get enough money if you know where they're at to go ahead and save up your money, go in there, get the information, retry, and keep your money since it's a low money seed. But in the meantime, Saver has wood arrows, and chessjerk is now in level 3, so is likely to find at least his raft, and potentially the recorder as well if he digs all the way up to the top.
Absolutely. And Saver is in level 2, which is the one dungeon that he needs. And both of our runners know where level 9 is.
And Saver was in the process of going through a lot of the flute spots. I want to say he was over by the grave for this one, so if this is the grave flute spot, then it's imperative that chessjerk goes all the way up to the top of this row, this column in level 3.
Absolutely, and I think the blue gummer rolled up. I want to say that Saver has hit 3 arrows so far. Yep, just a couple rooms up, and chessjerk will get his violin buff.
I guess we'll see where the recorder goes. I don't think I saw a whole lot of movement as Saver with recorder.
No, he did not use the recorder for warping, just for exploration.
Alright, so unless he gets taken back to start by Wallmaster and changes direction, CJ will have the recorder bow and will be able to leave this dungeon now. I think he may pick up the Triforce for the health refill on the way out, just to make it so his sword beams. Probably not the worst idea.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, he's up in Death Mountain.
Meanwhile, Saver has paused and is in kind of a bad spot. You're getting trapped or you're getting beamed back to start. And CJ's immediately warping. Let's see where it takes him. It takes him to Vanilla Dungeons.
Unbeaten, unfortunately.
So, yep. Does not
put a recorder tune was something from Mega Man.
Yep, doesn't put him in the right spot even still, so chessjerk is about as far away from the one spot he needs the most.
Unfortunately, that is the case. And he does not the arrows right now.
I don't think Saver is really even looking for a floor or staircase item at this point in this level. I think just looking for a Triforce room that actually has a Triforce. That's one of the first rooms I've seen where the Triforce has not been in its own room.
Yeah, I mean, with the room shuffle, there's that possibility of Triforce room, Triforces in them. Oh, but I didn't have its Triforce in the proper room either. It was across the ladder thing.
Yeah, it's just funny because we've seen a Triforce in 1, a Triforce in 3. Maybe that's the only 2 we've seen, but it looks like it's 50-50ing its way into its vanilla room despite not being forced that way.
Yeah. Room shuffles are fun, aren't they? Let's make his way into 2Q7 and get some money.
I've got to probably get up to the wood arrows, money-wise, here at some point, because it's, if nothing else, going to allow you to clear stuff faster. The only other thing that could really get chessjerk caught up is if he never gets over towards level 2 in the next, say, 10 minutes, is if he gets in and digs something like level 4, and it happens to have a ladder or a silver happens to show up outside of level 9.
Right you are there. And he did find level 4. So if we do have a required Ganon, then that would be definitely a good first dungeon to dig, just because it's got 2 items, even though it's massive. Both of our runners 1, 3, and now in Saver's case 2.
Looks like Saver's about to get to the 5th heart container as long as he survives this potential Wizrobe beam. Oof.
Oh man, that was beautiful timing with that can.
Yep, damage boosted out of Wizrobe damage. Still is not out of the woods here. Does get the heart container after all the shenanigans in this room, I believe. Yes, 5 hearts instead of 4.
And he clears that room. Very nicely done. And there you go. There's your Triforce in the Triforce room, Fury.
Yep, Yep, the game is definitely trolling us with these Triforces in their rooms. And is this an empty room with an item staircase? Wow. What do we have? How about a ladder? Wow.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that is a very good thing to see. Yeah, so all of our wooden items, the sword, the raft, and the ladder, were all double potions.
So Saver now is able to get into level 9 with the ladder, with the bow. If silvers are in 9, it's not going to really...
The chessjerk is right behind Saver going into level 3 as Saver leaves.
Yep, so chessjerk is potentially, if he digs past the Triforce and looks at that one-off room, is going to have the ladder and won't really be that far behind. But right now, kind of in position for Saver to take this game 1, regardless of whether or not Ganon is required, unless level 9 really has a lot of combat blocks or something that may slow him down. Another potential troll would be, say, Ganon in a weird room and not 0 HP. I mean, there's a couple of things that definitely would throw Saver off.
Yeah, Ganon in a Chevy room, although Saver did pull it off in an earlier race in the tournament, fighting Ganon in a Chevy room with no ladder. Took a few tries, but he did ultimately come out victorious.
Alright, so we have chessjerk actually taking the right way to the Triforce in 2. Will he go down? Yes. So ladder is not going to foil chessjerk this time. If you were watching the first couple of races between these two, way back at the beginning of the tournament, this was the bane of all of those runs. It will not be the bane of this one.
Not at all. And chessjerk made it through 2 significantly faster than Saver did. So as Saver walks into 9, chessjerk finishes up 2. And that red bubble curse is definitely reverse controls.
And we do have a room with a Patra and a ladder block, so at least one of your ways would have been blocked if you didn't go and grab the ladder past that Triforce.
A small chance that that could be the shutter door that...
Heyo! Red ring.
That's a red ring, so we're probably going to have silver arrows in here as well.
You say that, but I've seen it happen where red ring's been in 9, and then suddenly you walk into a room and you have a boomerang of whatever color you desire, and it's not what you wanted.
I said probably. I didn't say definitely.
I've called 2 races this tournament so far where that troll has occurred, so I am definitely gun-shy about assuming too much about the second items.
That is fair. chessjerk picks up a 5th heart from the coast and is on his way to 9 right now.
It does make sense now, though, with the red ring for Saver to turn around and hit this Patra, because we've seen enough rooms shuffled around where you're not 100% if that shutter's actually going to open when this Patra dies.
Absolutely. Plus, once he kills it now, he's never going to have to worry about it again.
Shutter did open. Is it a staircase or some sort of transport? Doesn't look like it. Still rooms left unexplored down there, but for now we're gonna go look somewhere else. Still try and travel up when possible, just in case we can run into Zelda's open door. Or I guess in Saver's case, Link's.
A very disappointing moment for chessjerk right there. He went to where that blue potion was and tried to pick it up at 5 hearts. I guess he might have thought that it would be white sword.
Yeah, Yeah, with that heart container picked up, though, chessjerk now is definitive on what is going on here.
Absolutely. But I mean, in his defense, with the wood sword being a potion sprite, a blue potion sprite definitely points towards white sword.
Hey, it's going
We did have a roar on Saber's side, I think. It might have not been the roar, but it was a roar.
Meanwhile, chessjerk did flute to Vanilla First Quest 8, so on his way up towards level 9. I think that is only about a 3-minute advantage for Saber at 9, so chessjerk definitely took the right path inside of level 2 to the ladder and the Triforce and saved at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Very, very much so. And this could be the door as well. Moment of truth. Alright, that was just a door, not the door.
This is the door to something important. We'll have to wait for the pancake to let go. Uh-oh, reverse control. Yep, Saber got reverse controlled on the way out of the pancake, so... looks like he's gonna try and get controls back before going down, which is a good play. Let's see what's down. Silver arrows? Yep. Any key is in any silver. So, chessjerk is desperately hoping that either he walks the correct direction towards Zelda and gets out before Saber, or that he gets over to the left cheek and gets into that room and gets his silvers.
He's not too far away at this point.
We've seen a lot of the lower section of this dungeon now, so it looks like one of the ears may be the answer we're looking for. Whether it be Ganon or Zelda.
Well, there's Ganon.
In his own room, got a bomb up and got a bomb left.
So while chessjerk may not have the silvers yet, he does have that information.
Neither ear appears to be the answer at this point, so... Ooh, I think you gotta take the staircase.
I think he's gonna check this room real quick to see if that's a staircase.
Yep, silvers could be in this, so I understand the play. You're definitely gonna have to take one or up an A at some point here.
The beast awaits in northwest. So Saber's got that in, actually on his way towards.
Guess what? Our diamond staircase in the top left goes to that single push block in the top left. Up and A.
Great.
Alright, Saber's gonna go into Ganon's room with 2 hearts on a red ring and silver arrows in hand. Is it a 0 HP, or is Saber gonna have to be kind of careful here? We'll find.
Nope.
So, Zelda appears to be somewhere in the middle of this level 9, up top. Here are some Gibdo. I don't know if Saber saw this room.
I don't believe he did.
chessjerk fighting in the middle of the Beamos statues because he's on so little HP. Don't blame him there. He's gotta be careful still. Clock. Can you get to the clock, or is Gibdo gonna hug? Oof.
Oh man, and there's Zelda.
Required. Oof. So Saber, if he's seen this door, is not too far away from wrapping up the first of our double header. And based on the direction he's going now, Saver is still looking.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, chessjerk is on the opposite end of the dungeon that he needs to be in, but he does up A. Okay. I believe chessjerk needs to go, what? Just north twice from the Gliok?
He needs to go up through the shutter door, but it's going to be too little too late. Saver wins game 1. 53 minutes and 47 seconds officially.
Get those GGs out.
And because they are playing on a doubleheader, I think chessjerk will throw in the towel at this point so that we can head to the second match between these two.
Absolutely. And we will just a few minute break, and we'll be back on the other side. So y'all don't go anywhere.